Starting at forward, number 23, Michelle Fitzgerald. At guard, number 21, Kayla Green. At center, number 15, Alexis Laseers. At guard, number 3, Kania McCray. And also at guard, number 2, Chanel Boston. The head coach of the Lady Aggies is Terrell Robinson.
Welcome to Memorial Hall here for today's doubleheader as the Delaware State University Hornets take on the Aggies. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Memorial Hall for tonight's doubleheader contest as the ladies of Delaware State University will take on the North Carolina A&T Aggies. We will have the men's action following the women's game. But of course, the women up first, 5:30 start time, and they will take on the team that they opened up their MEAC season against. And it was a rough one against A&T down at the Dog Pound. North Carolina A&T won that game 83-44. Delaware State was led by true freshman forward Kaya Abrams. The North Carolina native led the team in scoring with a still career-high 17 points. And Lanasia Ash, also from North Carolina, added 10 points. North Carolina A&T had 3 players with double-digit scoring performances. Dana Brown, Cinia McCray, and Aaliyah Kilpatrick scored 20, 16, and 13 respectively. And Brown had a game-high 5 made 3-point field goals. Aggies opened the game on a 13-4 run and never looked back in what turned out to be a dominating win for the Aggies. However, Delaware State comes in off of their second MEAC win of the season and first at home since last February the 20th. So the Lady Hornets certainly coming in with some momentum after last week. The starters for both teams. For the Hornets, it will be Janelle Addison, Kaya Abrams, Michael Aldridge, Najee Pollard, and Alicia Sharp. And for North Carolina A&T, it's going to be Chantel Bostic, Cinia McCray, Alexis Laseers, Kayla Green, and Michelle Fitzgerald. So both teams are on the floor. North Carolina A&T in the pink jerseys with white lettering. Hornets in their white uniforms with red lettering and light blue trim. And Najee Pollard wins the tip over the 6'3" Alexis Laseers. And so the Hornets go to work on offense. Addison drives, kick to Pollard, and Pollard lays it in. Good start for the Delaware State Lady Hornets. And now A&T wants to bring it the other way. They play at a much faster pace than the Lady Hornets do. And so the Hornets have to make sure they get back, get set in their zone defense. And they do a good job here getting in the passing lane, deflecting it, and then Alicia Sharp down low with the block. "17 seconds left on the shot clock for the Aggies. And they try to go inside. Janelle Addison gets the steal. And they try and get out in transition, but it's overthrown. Kai Abrams can't come up with it. And now the other way, North Carolina A&T gets the easy lay-in. Chantel Bostic with the lay-in. And a dangerous pass there from Aldridge, nearly stolen away, but the Hornets get it. Sharp drives, gets it to go, and one. Alicia Sharp, the 6-foot freshman out of Lynette, Alabama. She's gotten a lot more minutes here as the season's gone on in the MEAC. She plays with a lot of energy, a lot of intensity. She goes after every rebound. She's a solid spot-up shooter for her 6-foot size. And just a freshman, she is certainly a building block for Coach Barbara Burgess. Coach Burgess in her second season. And she's got a very young roster. 3 juniors on the roster, and everybody else is a sophomore or freshman. So this Hornets team is young. And at 2-6 in the conference, obviously they've had their fair share of struggles, but have the one thing you like to see, good coaching shows a team getting better as the season goes along. And these Lady Hornets have certainly improved as their season has continued. Consuela Story checking in for the Aggies for the first time today. Hornets struggling here in the half court. Aldridge gets it, goes up and under, and hard up the backboard. She gets the loose ball and lays it in. So Aldridge a bucket, and the Hornets out to a 7-2 lead. 3 ball up and long from Cinia McCray. And the Aggies, they go quickly, so the Hornets have to do a good job getting back on defense. Pollard out in transition. Good find from Kaya Abrams, and Pollard gets the lay-in. And how about the start for the Lady Hornets? Coach Terrell Robinson going to call a timeout for North Carolina A&T. And the hot start for the Hornets. They're up to a 9-2 lead after losing to North Carolina A&T earlier this season by a score of 83-44. They've come out early and are getting it done on both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively.
Also followed by the next home game, which will be February 25th. That game, I promise you, will probably be sold out. So make sure you're here early. On tap. Also, want to give a special shout out to the approaching storm, always in the building. Deep Elegance, always in the building. Sweet 16, always in the building. Special shout out to my lady cheerleaders. My sports administration staff. Shout out to all my people in the yellow jackets who we do roll call. Shout out to the sports management department. Also shout out to athletics. Skip Perkins and the boys. Special shout out to Mike Rogers, Dennis Jones, Clarence Bernardo, Matt Fortune. Also another special shout out to WDSU-TV broadcasting this game live right now. Mr. Vince Celli and the boys and girls holding it down on YouTube. So make sure you spread the word through Facebook, Instagram. Everything is going down. Oh, yeah.
All right, back to it now here at Memorial Hall. Hornets off to a great start, up 9-2 early on. Coach Robinson calling a timeout for his North Carolina A&T Aggies and trying to make some adjustments. We've seen it. They play at a fast pace, but the Hornets have done well on the offensive end, which has allowed them to get back on defense, get in their zone, and it's really caused A&T some problems early on. And we talked about it when these two teams met down in North Carolina. The Aggies were the team that got off to the hot start. They went up 13-4 and never looked back. Hornets trying to do the same this time to their opponent, but good offense, good job there by A&T to get to the free throw line and get Cinia McCray open on the wing for the mid-range jumper. But now the Hornets come back the other way. They've had a lot of success on the offensive end here early on. Najee Pollard's been good down low. Here she kicks it out to Aldridge. Aldridge, the open three, can't get it to go. But good effort from the Lady Hornets trying to get the offensive rebound. But a very good start, very encouraging start for Coach Burgess and her Lady Hornets. As we said here in her second year, she's a Hornet graduate back in 1990. And then began her coaching career as an assistant at Hampton for a few years and then was offered the head coaching job here at Delaware State. And after the bucket by A&T, we will get a foul called on number 2, Chantel Bostic.
Carrying violation, Aggies ball.
And there's a rare call you don't see very often. Aldridge trying to get around the defender without dribbling out of bounds. And she gets called for the carry. And so A&T has settled in, it looks like, on the defensive end. So the Hornets going to have to settle in themselves. Certainly can't expect this team to go away quickly. And a good steal there by Kai Abrams. And they've really gotten better in that zone defense, understanding what they want to do. And how about the steal right back by Kayla Green? And she'll go the other way, picks the pocket of Michael Aldridge. And the Hornets got to get back going in that half-court offense. We talked about A&T wants to go fast. The Hornets have to slow this game down. If they get into a quickly paced game, they will struggle. Sharp from downtown, and we talked about it. She's not the best she's not the best stop and pop shooter, but if she's set and open, she can make them down from long range. And she does there for the Lady Hornets. Get them back going on offense. But on the other end, she picks up her first foul. Bostic will go to the line. Bostic, the 5'7" freshman out of Cleveland, Ohio. And she's been very good early on for North Carolina A&T. We'll get a couple of substitutions. Lanasia Ash checks in for the Hornets. And Whitney Martin and Dana Brown will check in for North Carolina A&T, as the second free throw is no good. And A&T, one of the few teams in the MEAC that plays mostly man-to-man defense. A lot of times in the MEAC conference, you'll see a lot of teams playing some form of zone, as the Hornets do. But a lot of their opponents will as well. But not the Aggies. They come out and play their man-to-man defense. And Najee Pollard with the catch inside, tries to go to her left hand, and it's no good. And you saw A&T swarming to Pollard around the basket. She had 3 sets of arms around her, so she's going to get everybody's best look on defense, and she'll get that all season from the MEAC teams. They're going to try and make somebody other than Najee Pollard beat them, excuse me. And Aldridge got away with was probably another carry. Aldridge, another open three, gets this one to go. And so the Hornets open that lead back up to 7. And you see it, they've settled in on the defensive end, but they're a silly foul on Najee Pollard. And Alexis Lassiers able to get the basket to go and one. And Pollard, just a soft foul there.
Shooting one, Alexis Lassiers.
And Lassiers gets the roll on the free throw. And that will take us to our first media timeout. So we will get you, or excuse me, I'm incorrect. Not with the media timeout yet. They were subbing somebody in, North Carolina A&T was. We'll get you the keys to the game at the next timeout. Sharp open, passes it up for the better look. Kai Abrams from downtown, she gets it to go. And the Hornets answer with a 3-ball of their own. Well, they answer the 3-point play. And now Abrams gets a steal, trying to dump it off to Sharp. And so the Hornets, they'll get away with it. Got the steal. And the activity and the effort from this Hornets team has been excellent early on. Ash, the bank is open. Lanasia Ash high off the right side of the backboard, gets the bank shot to go. And the lead now up to 9 for the Hornets. they've been very, very impressive on the offensive end here early in this game. And they are swarming on the defensive end in that zone. There, an air ball put up on the floater by North Carolina A&T. And now Aaliyah Stinnett will check in for the first time off the bench for Kaya Abrams. And Stinnett still getting herself back. She had her first start on MEAC play on Monday against the North Carolina Central Eagles. And now we're going to get a foul called on number 20, Dana Brown. She gets called for the block on Mike Aldridge, and you see there, just really silly foul, trying to put pressure on the ball handler, but a little too much, a little too early, and just ends up being a silly foul. And now Aylin Sankar will check in for the Hornets. She's in for Alicia Sharp, and quickly a turnover by the Hornets. And now A&T trying to go back the other way. Aaliyah Kilpatrick looked like she wasn't sure what exactly she wanted to do with the ball and ends up turning it over. And so the Hornets doing a great job forcing turnovers early on in this game. They're really bothering the A&T offense, and Aldridge pulls up from three just a little bit too strong. Pollard gets the offensive rebound and gets it back out to Aldridge. And they call a traveling on Najee Pollard. Had Pollard not traveled, likely would have been an N1 conversion. But they get her with the traveling call, and so the basket is no good. Ivana Negron, she'll check in for the first time today for Michael Aldridge. And Aaliyah Stinnett, you see her in the game, and this is what she does. She is from half court. Her length and her quickness really can cause opposing guards problems at the top of the key. Here the Hornets come in out in transition. And Ash trying too hard to do a little too much, turns it over right back to A&T. And A&T gives it back. Kilpatrick, a second turnover in a matter of a couple possessions. And so the pace has picked up a little bit so far in this first quarter of play. And a lazy pass there from Ivana Negron will result in a jump ball. And it will go North Carolina A&T's way. And Negron just not a smart pass in the middle of the floor with not very much gusto on it. And Alexis Laceers will check back in for North Carolina A&T. And this North Carolina A&T team, you can tell Coach Robinson is really set in his ways. They are a very big team, have plenty of height, plenty of size. And typically that leads to a team playing in the half court. But A&T wants to run up and down, but they've got several 6-footers on the roster, a few even not playing. So they are well equipped to play around the rim. And that's why Najee Pollard is so important in this game for the Hornets, because she is the best, really the best weapon in the conference as a down-low post player. And they need her to take advantage of that and try and beat the size that North Carolina A&T brings to the table. And Michael Aldridge will check back in for Aaliyah Stinnett. But Pollard, she's a key in every game. We talk about her every game as the impact player. She is without a doubt the driving force behind this Lady Hornet team, and you see it there. She's not just a good offensive player. She gets it done in the effort category. She gets it done on defense. She rebounds. She makes her free throws. And she's a great example for the rest of this Lady Hornets team to get on her back and let her lead the way. But they've all come out with the effort and intensity on the defensive end, getting in passing lanes. Ash out in transition, and Negron can't handle the pass.
Hornets ball.
And the Bulldogs get away with one there. Ash wasn't a great pass, a little low, but you'd like to see Negron come up with it and be able to finish. Can't give away those easy baskets, especially not against a good team like North Carolina A&T. And we get a foul called here on Aaliyah Kilpatrick. So Sankar will go to the line. Sankar, the junior out of Baltimore, Maryland.
Shooting two, England.
You see here just driving to the lane, and A&T had her well covered. But Kilpatrick got caught with her hand in the cookie jar, a little too aggressive. And Sankar able to make the first. So this lead up to 12 for the Lady Hornets. Not exactly what we expected early on. They have come out with boatloads of energy, boatloads of intensity on the defensive end. And they have really locked up this North Carolina A&T team. And quite the turnaround from what we saw from them about a month ago down in North Carolina. But 4 quarters of action in the women's basketball game nowadays, so you cannot just bring it for the first quarter. It's got to be done all game. And Pollard, there's a mistake. That's going to be her second foul call, and it's the right call. Pollard, as a defensive player, if you're going to get away with it, you've got to go straight up. And Pollard was bent over Kilpatrick, and so Pollard's second foul here late in the first quarter, and that's a big foul called. But she's extremely important to this team, and so Coach Burgess going to leave her in, try and let her finish out the first quarter of action at least. But you see here the offensive rebound, and Pollard leaned over, and Kilpatrick makes both free throws. And now she will sub out in favor of Chantel Bostic. She will check back in. And A&T, they haven't had too many made baskets so far in this game, but they will go to that full court press. And that's what I talked about there. Fast-paced team, up-tempo team is the word I was looking for. But an up-tempo team, and that's typically what you get when you're in a full-court press, is up-tempo basketball. And that's what A&T comes at you with. But Pollard, not afraid with the 2 fouls. She goes up, gets the offensive rebound and the putback. And despite the size we talk about from this North Carolina A&T team, she has been very effective down low, but that's Najee Pollard for you. Talked about it on Saturday against Florida A&M. She just appears to be well on her way to a MEAC Player of the Year award. And Aldridge with the drive, tries to put it up and no good. And it's going to be out of bounds on Sankar. 2 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. And Dione Cochran checks in. And so A&T content to dribble out the first quarter, but a very, very impressive first quarter of play from the Delaware State University Hornets. They're up 26-15. Great output on the offensive and defensive end. Everybody's been contributing so far for the Lady Hornets, and that's what's gotten them out to this 11-point lead. And so when we come back for the second quarter of action, we will have your keys to the game. But you see here some highlights from the first quarter. A&T, a good job stretching out the zone and going underneath. As for the Lady Hornets, they've been very good in the half court. Not on this possession, though. Kayla Green picks Michael Aldridge's pocket, but Kaya Abrams was good from downtown. Michael Aldridge made a 3. We saw Alicia Sharp with a 3 earlier in the game. There's Lanesia Ash pulling up from mid-range. She typically makes her money on the defensive end. But offensively, there she was getting it done. But a very good, very impressive effort from the Lady Hornets in that first quarter of action.
Don't forget, this month is Black History Month. It's the beginning. So we're going to have a lot of questions for a lot of folks going on. It's the first day of February. It's Black History Month. It's going down here. Memorial Hall Gymnasium. We always like to ask questions. So if I ask you a Black History question, you going to know the answer? Yes.
And as we get ready to kick off the second quarter of action, we'll get you your keys to the game. Key to the game for Delaware State, number one, make A&T shoot the three. They struggled from the three-point line in their last game on Monday night. They went just 2 of 17 from the three-point line. And then number two, good guard play for the Hornets. They need to be good, which they were in that first quarter. Michael Aldridge was good. Negron was good. Lenasia Ash was very good. Kaya Abrams, Janelle Addison was good in her starting role as Ash gets the bucket to go. But they need to be good with their guard play because of how effective North Carolina A&T is inside. And key to the game, number three, we figured she's become too good to be the impact player. She's now just a key to the game, Najee Pollard. But once again, against the size of North Carolina A&T, Najee Pollard, you still have to be able to get it done down low in some form or fashion. That's what's going to help your guards play well, and Najee Pollard was able to get it done down low. And so after Ash's opening bucket, A&T responded, and it's 28-17, a minute into this second quarter of action. And some first quarter stats. Both teams turning it over a little bit too much. Hornets with 7 turnovers, A&T with 8 turnovers. But both teams sharing the ball well. A&T with 6 assists to the Hornets, 5 assists on made baskets. So both teams sharing the ball well, getting it done on the offensive end. But the Hornets, an excellent first quarter, on pace for over 100 points. And Najee Pollard with the steal. Great effort there from number 22, Najee Pollard. Gets it to Aldridge, and Aldridge makes the right decision, slows it down. Good job by A&T to get back on defense. Coach Robinson in his 5th season as the A&T coach. And her girls at 4-4 in the conference. And out in transition, Bostic, an ugly effort with the layup. I think the ball slipped out of her hands, which is what caused it. But it was one of those times. It was such a bad miss. It was a good miss. Nobody expected it to go where it went, so Bostic was able to come up with it. But it didn't hit the rim, so the shot clock down to 7. A&T got to go here, and they do. Shot too long. But another offensive rebound, and that is what these Aggies can do. Alexis Lasiers. Lasiers, one of the 6-footers on this basketball team, 6'3" freshman. So Lasiers is a problem. She's someone that the Hornets are going to have to keep their eyes on, and especially in their zone defense. They're going to be a problem. Or rebounding, excuse me. Rebounding is going to be a problem, and those 6-footers for A&T will be a problem. Well, Alexis Lasiers checking in at 6'3". Leon Hill, she's 6'2". Channing James is 6'5". Story, she's 6'1". So they've got plenty of height and size on this A&T basketball team. And we're going to get a foul called on Chantel Bostic. And that is one thing about the full court press, though, is if you're not disciplined in it or if the refs are a little whistle happy, you will end up in foul trouble. Good job by Alicia Sharp to come back, get the inbound pass for the Hornets. Lead still at 10. And Najee Pollard checked out for Diani Cochran. And I think that's a good decision good job by Kai Abrams on the defensive end. But I think that's a good decision by Coach Burgess. Pollard with her 2 fouls. She's way too important for this team, and you've got a 10-point lead. So you've got an opportunity here where you can get her some rest, get her out of the game to where she doesn't end up with that 3rd foul in the first half, and but still be in the lead. So we will see just how long she's out. But you see right now the offense struggling without her on the floor. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Ash with the take, and she's fouled. And a great job, great awareness there by Lanasia Ash. Knowing exactly what the shot clock was at, drove to the rim, and with 1 second on the shot clock, able to get a shot up and draw a foul. And we talked about the effort from several contributors for the Hornets. Najee Pollard had 8 points. Michael Aldridge had 5. Kai Abrams had 3. Alicia Sharp had 6. And Aylin Sankar and Lanasia Ash each had a couple of baskets. But Ash was able to open up this second quarter with the mid-range jumper. And there that free throw. So she's up to 5 points now. And has opened the lead back up to 10 for the Hornets. 29-19 the score. Good ball movement here by the Bulldogs on this possession, but they step out of bounds. Dana Brown talked about the awareness that Lanasia Ash had. Brown not aware of the sideline there and steps out of bounds. And so that will result in an Aggie turnover. But for the size that A&T comes at you with, Delaware State winning in rebounding totals early on. So the girls not being intimidated by this Bulldogs team. And Cochran tries to get the pass outside to Alicia Sharp, and she can't hang on to it. And so Coach Burgess gets Najee Pollard in for Alicia Sharp. And after the hot start, the offenses have cooled off a little bit for the offense has cooled off a little bit for the Hornets, but they're still getting it done on the defensive end. And Pollard gets in the passing lane, and a little unfortunate. Lanasia Ash was there, and it bounced off of her and goes out of bounds. Had she not been there, it would have been an easy steal there for the Lady Hornets. But under 10 seconds now on the shot clock. A&T gets inside. And the offensive rebound from LaSears. And another offensive rebound for A&T. And she's not going to get the credit for it, but Alexis LaSears was the reason for both of those offensive rebounds. And her 6'3" frame against that zone is continuing to cause a problem for the Hornets. And that's probably a good reason why Diani Cochran is on the floor. She gets solid minutes for Coach Burgess to begin with, but she can match LaSears' 6'3" height and man the middle of that zone and hopefully grab some defensive rebounds for the Hornets. I expect to see more minutes out of her if it continues LaSears attacking the glass the way that she has. Here, loose ball in the paint. Najee Pollard comes up with it. And Lanasia Ash in transition has one-on-one. And they call a charge on Lanasia Ash. And you see there, Ash just going a little bit too hard. Certainly, I like the decision to be aggressive, try and get to the rim. And one-on-one, you're typically going to get a foul called on the defense. But she went too strong, led with the shoulder, and got the foul called against her. And Alexis LaSears will check out, but in steps Channing James. She's 6'5", redshirt freshman out of Kensington, Pennsylvania. And 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter, so that will take us to the media timeout. Hornets up 29-19, and real quick, just want to give a shout out to all the football players who signed their national letters of intent today. And then we will take it to the Blake Cam.
When was Delaware State University founded?
In 1891.
Okay, that was good. Here's the second part of the question. Dr. Harry Williams is what president of Delaware State University. Is it 1, 5, 7, 11? Hey.
That's 10.
All right, we'll let you slide. Shout out to the Approaching Storm. We got plenty of more questions coming up all throughout the game. Hey, I got my lady cheerleaders gonna be throwing out t-shirts all game. Next game, halftime. Ho, give the hands, let's go. Okay. Why? To who? Yeah. We all about good vibes here at Delaware State University. We promote great sportsmanship, but once again, this is our house. Next home game, February 20th. Make sure y'all come on out. Here we go. Oh. Oh. Shout out to my ladies rocking that Hornet gear. Yeah, I see y'all looking good. All right, got their Hornet gear on.
And so back here, the last 5 minutes of the first half of action. And we will quickly get a foul called. Number 21, Kayla Green, attacking the basket. And the foul goes against Aaliyah Stinnett. And so Najee Pollard still on the floor. 4 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the second quarter. And Coach Burgess showing a lot of faith, as she typically does with Najee Pollard. She, we know how important she is, but Coach Burgess has faith in her ability to stay out of foul trouble. And that's why you still see her in the game. And so A&T goes 1 of 2 from the line. Pollard kicks it out to Stinnett, and she knocks it down. And Aaliyah Stinnett, she brings the ability to knock him down from the outside. And there she does to open up, to get things going for the Hornets. Lead back up to 12. And you got to give credit to the women. They have not let North Carolina A&T back in this game. And Stinnett, in transition, the left-handed layup gets the roll. And Aaliyah Stinnett off the bench, and she's come out firing at this Bulldogs team. Got 5 quick buckets here, 5 quick points for the Hornets out of the timeout. But A&T responds with the 3-ball, Cynia McCray. So 34-23. The lead is 11. And Stinnett gets it over to Aldridge. Aldridge from 3, a little too strong. And she's been long with a couple of her 3-ball attempts today. Little bit too amped up, Mike, on those shots. But real quick, I was just saying today, signing day for football around the country. And got word that the Delaware State football team was ranked 3rd, the 3rd best recruiting class in the MEAC this season. So Coach Carter getting it done for the football team in the offseason, recruiting some good, talented players, and hopefully something to continue to look forward to with that football team. We talked about how young they were last year with over 40 freshmen on the roster, and now bringing in the 3rd best recruiting class in the conference. And so that's a big win for the Hornets. And we get an illegal screen called on Diani Cochran, and the fans are unhappy with it, and we're going to get a replay. And I think they're right. I think Cochran was set and in position. Well, a little bit of a hip poke out there from Cochran, not typically one that gets called. And then on the other end, Dana Brown able to take advantage of it for the Aggies. Gets the 3 to go. And the lead now 34-26. And now a poor decision there by Michael Aldridge. She's going to get away with it. And Pollard can't finish around the rim. And we've got an injured player on the floor for the Aggies. Looks like a wrist injury. And you see the replay here. Aldridge, just a poor decision to make that pass. And Story appears to be favoring her right side. Pollard going in for the ball, got in pretty hard. And Story, you can see she appears to be in a significant amount of pain. So possibly a rib cage injury, something like that. I don't want to speculate too much, but just from the looks of it, where they're working, that looks like the injury. But we'll go back to work here. And Cinia McCray goes at the rim, can't get the layup to go. Diani Cochran down low. Good job interfering with the shot. And so the Hornets really began to struggle on the offensive end here in this second quarter. Just not too many smart decisions out of them on the offensive end. A lot of picking up the dribble as they get across half court, and that's the worst time to pick up your dribble. You're opening yourself up for a trap. And an easy steal in transition baskets. And Channing James checks in for LaSears. The lead down 8. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Aldridge off the screen, pulls up from 3 and gets it to go. Micah Aldridge knocks it down from downtown. And the lead now back up to 11. So again, the Hornets doing a good job keeping A&T at bay. And James still Channing James in causing the problems for the Hornets, and Aldridge trying to get out in transition. Trying to get it to Kai Abrams. And a deflection, and it goes out off of Abrams. But the Hornets have been more aggressive on offense. One of the things we've talked about with their struggles earlier in the season, they were not always an aggressive team on the offensive end of the floor. Today, though, they have been. They've been attacking. They've taken open jump shots. They've tried to get after some opportunities in transition. They haven't been too effective in transition, but I like to see the aggressiveness. I like to see, trying to take advantage of opportunities when you get them. And they've done that more so in this game, and that's what happens against a 2-3 zone. Leon Hill got it at the free throw line. Cochran couldn't come out to her, so Hill had the open jump shot, and she missed it. But Channing James had position down low to get the rebound, and that continues to be a problem area in this second quarter for the Hornets. Ash way long with the jump shot. And Pollard called for a travel, and it certainly looked like that left pivot foot moved. She might have wanted a foul called. I think she could have an argument for that. But you see here definitely a travel, but you could argue that there was a blocking foul that wasn't called. But there, another offensive rebound for A&T, and how about another one? And they just struggling to convert off of the offensive rebounds. Kai Abrams gets the rebound and slows it down. Didn't have the numbers. And good decision not to go inside with it there. And Pollard finds Kai Abrams open on the wing, and the shot goes in and out. And that's one of the things that makes Najee Pollard so effective. If you bring the double or triple team to her, she will kick it out to the open shooter. And there's Diani Cochran down low, tipping it away from Channing James. Now in transition, Ash over to Abrams, and Abrams gets the lay-in. And a whistle blows as the ball gets away. 5 seconds to go here in the first half of action. The Hornets lead 39-28. Defense going to try and close out the second quarter. Shot blocked, did not get it off in time. And we've got some highlights from the first half of action. Your Hornets lead 39-28. Great job on the defensive end from the Hornets. 15 points allowed in the first quarter, 13 points allowed in the second quarter. As you see in transition, they've done a good job. Kaya Abrams has been great in her minutes. Najee Pollard, of course, has been great. Michael Aldridge has knocked down a few from the outside. Here she gets her pocket picked by Kayla Green. But certainly a great job by this Lady Hornets team so far. They're getting it done on both ends of the floor. They've been very good on offense, especially there in that first quarter. I think Coach Burgess wants a little bit better effort from her girls than they had in the second quarter. But one adjustment to look out for. We're going to see if Coach Burgess does anything about the offensive rebounds that North Carolina A&T has gotten. But you see here a couple of the threes that Delaware State made. But we'll see. That's the adjustment we're looking for. We'll see if the Hornets can cut down the offensive rebounds allowed. But 39-28 at halftime. We'll be back for the second half of action here at Memorial Hall.
Once again, we always like to welcome all guests. If you ever want to participate, make sure you get at one of us. Today's game, we got the Delaware puzzle game. And this is how it works, ladies and gentlemen. For you guys who are all new to today's game, we're going to put these cardboard boxes on the floor, spread out on both halves. Now, each contestant will have to get the right puzzle piece, and they have to spell Hornets. Now, the key is they have to do it in order. Not spell, of course, you got to spell it correctly, but you got to get the H first, then put it down. The O, then put it down. You can't grab them and then spell them out when you get there. Everybody got that? You got that, ladies? Let me explain it to you one more time. Y'all wasn't listening? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. We wasn't listening. Now, that's what's going to happen. Of course, it's the puzzle game. You see the puzzles are on the ground right now? You guys got to go. All the puzzles, if you collect them all, they all spell Hornets, right? For both of you guys. Now, what you have to do is you got to get the puzzle and spell Hornets, but you have to get them in order, meaning you have to grab the H first, spell it out at the foul line of each side. So the H, you got to find the O, you got to be in order. No, you can't grab them and then bring them all back and then try to spell it out there. You got to find the H, bring it back. Find the O, bring it back. You guys got it? Yep. Let's get you to go on down to the other end. We got Miracle Week sophomore from D.C. holding it down for D.C. And we got Amia McGreen, sophomore from Eastern Shore, Maryland. I said Amaya. Come on, Amaya, you got to hustle up with those Uggs on. You ready? Gladiators, are you ready? My fault, wrong game. And go. Y'all go a little fast. The key to this game is remembering oh, she did it smart. No, you got to turn them back over. You can't turn them over. You got to turn them back over. That was smart, though. That was creative. Turn that back over. Keep going. You're getting in shape right now. You're working out. You're working out. There you go. Now, to the foul line. You got to go to the foul line. Take this to the foul line. I got you. Go ahead. Go ahead. Get the other letters. Go ahead. To the foul line. God, good gosh. Here's the foul line right here. You got to spell Hornets. All right. Keep going. Let's go. You don't let her beat you. You got your Uggs on. You cannot steal the other person's letter. We're both. You're looking for an O. Where's the O at? Keep on working. Both of y'all got on Uggs. Those are workout sneakers. It's an O out here. Make sure you. I didn't see it. I don't know. Right there. Look right there. Look at. She can't. Look at this. Look at this. We look at. There it is. There you go. Remember where R is? Tell me you remember where R is. What's that? Nope. Nope. That's the E. Uh-oh. She got the N. You better hurry up. Oh, you got your R. Okay. Now you need an N. Oh. Find the E. Oh, snap. We got ourselves a ball game here. Uh-oh. It's down to one letter. Great job. Give it up for both contestants, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, no. She said, I'm a Hornet, not a Hornets. Look, we all are Hornets. Congratulations. Don't forget, you're going to walk away with something. We got a free T-shirt for you. But the winner, we got a $25 gift card to Buffalo Wild Wings. They said they roommates, so they splitting it. That's okay. I ain't going to tell nobody. It's all good. Don't forget, for the men's game, we're doing something very special. We got a PlayStation 4. We're going to be giving away. Also, we got the Delaware Lottery coming through today. So somebody's going to walk away with cash in their hands. So make sure you pay attention and you listen up for all the instructions. Somebody's going to walk away with cash in their hands. Give the hands. How you feel? You ready to rock out? On you. I'm going to go grab that. Here we go.
One time for the people on the right side. One time for the people on the left side. One time for the people on the right side. One time for the people on the left side. One time for the people on the right side. One time for the people on the left side. One time for the people on the right side. And it's gonna do something like this. Check it out now.
Also, if you want to become part of the student housing, come on over to the counter right here as soon as you walk by the bathrooms. We got the RHA interest meeting. If you want to be an RA in the dorms, go on over. Too long.
Gifted Hands.
Here come the hot sniper. I'm the lyrical gangster. Big up the crew in the area. Still love you like that. No, we don't die. Yes, we multiply. Anyone press will hear the fat lady sing. Act like you know, Rico. I know what Bo don't know.
I know one thing. My Lady Hornets came to play today. Word them up.
I'm the lyrical gangster.
Word them up.
Excuse me, Mr. Officer.
Yeah. Delaware Lottery is in the building. They're giving away some money tonight. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Miss Delaware State University. I see you. That's what I'm talking about. you want to know how to be a Hornet and still look fashionable, look at this. I see you, Miss Delaware State University. Got your shoe on and a sweatshirt. That's how you be a Hornet. That's how you be a Hornet. We got the approaching storm coming up for this next commercial break. Gifted hands, here we go. We go, ho. We go, approaching, ho. Ho, ho. All right, let's begin this second half the same way we ended it. On fire. Hornets.
Aggies ball.
All right, we're back for the second half of action here, as the Lady Hornets have a 39-28 lead over the Lady Bulldogs.
Out of bounds, Aggies ball.
And a couple of first half stats for you. Hornets bench outscoring the Bulldogs bench 12-9. Hornets have had 7 different players contribute. They've got 8 points from Najee Pollard, 8 points from Michael Aldridge, 5 from Kai Abrams, and 6 from Alicia Sharp. And so they've really been able to get everybody involved, everybody scoring on the offensive end. And they've done well on the defensive end as well. They've created 12 turnovers. But they've also turned the ball over 13 times themselves. But offensively, we talked about how well they've done. They're shooting, they shot 51%, 52% in that first half, which is exceptional. Absolutely exceptional compared to 32.3% from the Aggies. So a strong start to this ball game, but again, there's another half of action to go, and this Aggies team is too good to think that it's over, and they really started to impose their will on the defensive end, or excuse me, on the offensive glass. Alexis Lassiers and Channing James really were big in grabbing offensive rebounds. They have 10 offensive rebounds for North Carolina A&T. And we talked about that's the product of the zone. That happens in a 2-3 zone if you're the Hornets. But it's certainly something you want to try and make an adjustment for and do something about. And the Hornets off of the ball going out of bounds. Nobody aware of how much time left was on the shot clock. And it results in basically a free turnover for North Carolina A&T. You see Lanesia Ash had it, got it over to Janelle Addison, and she just was unaware of how much time was left on the shot clock. And so a little bit of a lackluster start for the Hornets. A 39-30 game here as we're just a minute into the second half of action.
Show some love for the lady cheerleaders, ladies and gentlemen. I know y'all thought I was playing. I told y'all. The PS4 is here. Somebody's gonna walk away with a PS4 today. That's how we do at DSU. I'm showing you guys PlayStation 4. You gotta be following on Instagram the DSU Pride page, once again, at DSU Pride. I'm gonna bring it all over to the camera, my man, check. You know, PS4. Zoom in.
All right, 9:01 remaining here in the third quarter, just underway in the second half of action. Hornets have led from the jump. Got out to a 9-2 lead early on and have been in control ever since then. Had their largest lead of 14, 4 minutes and 11 seconds into the second quarter. But it hasn't been much closer than about what it is now. A 9-point game. Got down to 7 at one point. North Carolina A&T got it, but Delaware State pulled right back ahead, and they have really answered every call. North Carolina A&T, every time they looked like they were going to try and flex their muscle and get back into the game. The Lady Hornets responded, and they've really stared down this North Carolina A&T team, and we talked about it. A&T gave them took them behind the woodshed down in North Carolina with an 83-44 win. But the Hornets are a different team now. They, Coach Burgess, we've talked about it really since that Hampton game. This has been a much improved team, playing with much more effort. They're better on both ends of the floor. And that's a credit to Coach Burgess for making the adjustment, keeping the ear of her team, despite that ugly loss they had against the Hampton Pirates back on January the 14th. And since then, they've been very competitive and turned it into a win against NC Central on Monday, and now looking to get another win here on the 1st of February. And getting it after it on the defensive end, Janelle Addison's going to come up with it, and she steps out of bounds. Addison was going after it and stumbled. And apparently the ref said she had contact with the ball while she was out of bounds. Not the best angle for me. I couldn't see her. She was right down the line on this side of the floor, on the near side. So still 39-30. Hornets trying to get it going on the offensive end here in this second half. But defensively, they continue to give A&T problems. Jump shot short and no good.
Hornets ball.
This one going to go out of bounds on Story. Good to see her back in the game. Looked like she had a pretty significant injury early in the game, but credit to their training staff getting her back out in the game. Hornets again still struggling on the offensive end here in this second half. Lenasia Ash with the drive, tries to get the runner to go. And no good off the backboard.
Too many steps. Hornets ball.
And some wild action there. Probably could have had a foul called, but they won't. They don't give A&T the call. They call a travel on Story. And so the Hornets will get a fresh 30 and a new shot clock. Aldridge gets open on the inbound pass. She knocks down the three. And we talked about it. The Hornets have come with a response every time A&T appears to be sneaking their way back into the game. And they did again there with a three ball from Micah Aldridge. The lead up to 12. Brown pulls up from mid-range. She can't get it to go. And Najee Pollard gets the rebound, but a poor turnover. Great effort down low from Whitney Martin to get the steal from Pollard, and not a mistake you typically see her make.
Lady Hornet foul number 32, Alicia Sharp. Her second personal, team second. Shooting two, Whitney Martin.
Martin gets the first, and Pollard a poor mistake there and compounded it with her third foul. And only 5 in the college game, so she's got to get through the next quarter and a half. And she's only got really one foul to give. Second foul will result in her fouling out of this game. And the Hornets able to break the press. A&T appears to be turning up the intensity on that full court press just a little bit. Hornets swinging it around the key. Ash tries to go with the cross-court pass, and A&T with the steal. And one of the things you get with a full-court press is Pollard gets the block down low. And Aldridge comes up with it. And they call a travel on Mike Aldridge, and she didn't like it. And neither did Coach Burgess. Burgess giving the referees a piece of her mind. Thought that there could have been a foul called, and these refs, though, they've been pretty consistent. They have not called too many fouls on loose balls like that. They're letting the players play. And you see it again here, the trap. Hornets got to get it across half court. They won't. Easy steal and an easy two-point basket from North Carolina A&T. And just like that, the lead now down to 6. This is as close as it's been since early in the first quarter. And now Negron loses control of the pass. Another steal and transition. Kayla Green can't get the layup to go. And the tempo of this game really picking up. 3-on-1 for the Hornets, and Ash way strong with the jump shot. And Michael Aldridge, a good decision here to slow it down. But got to keep in mind that ball didn't hit the rim, so no new shot clock. Down to 12. Aldridge steps back, pulls up. No good. Pollard the offensive rebound and gets the lay-in, and there's Najee Pollard with the rebound and the response from the Lady Hornets. In transition, the three and an easy offensive rebound from Aaliyah Kilpatrick. And I don't understand the adjustment from Coach Burgess. They've gone to a press of their own, have the Lady Hornets, and it's not something we typically see from them. They are not usually a pressing team, and especially A&T being strong in an up-tempo game. To me, you're just playing in their hands. And a downtown, the three ball good from Kayla Green. And Coach Robinson calls a timeout after the three, trying, as this lead is down to 3, A&T really turning up the intensity in this third quarter. They've turned up the press, and the Hornets have struggled with it. Coach Burgess has tried to respond with a press of her own. We'll see what adjustments come out of this timeout. 4:09 to go in the third quarter.
Heaven, and you're 12 years old. Okay, that's your question. You ready? Who was responsible for the I Have a Dream speech?
Martin Luther King.
Okay, all right, Martin King. All right. That's the first part. Second part, when he did this speech, where was it at?
D.C.
Oh, I can't hear you.
D.C.
Is she right? All right, congratulations. You get to win a prize. Pick whatever you want out this bag. Congratulations. Who else think they know their Black history? I'm going to come over here to my left. I want to ask my referee, but she said don't ask me no question. Who know their Black history? How y'all scared of Black history? Come here. Come on. Hold it down for the lady cheerleaders. Okay. Now you know Evers Hall, right? Evers Hall is named after who? Tell me the first name.
Medgar Evers.
All right, is she a winner? All right, shout out to the cheerleaders.
With 4:09 remaining here in the third quarter, the Hornets' lead has been cut to 3, 44-41. It's as close as it has been since it was 5-2. And so give credit to the A&T Bulldogs. They made some big halftime adjustments. They've really turned up the intensity of their full court press, and the Hornets have struggled with it. And they bring in Aaliyah Stinnett to try and help fix it, and Stinnett turns it over. And now a double dribble called against A&T. And the Hornets had 13 turnovers in that first half. They've had 5 already in this third quarter, still nearly 4 minutes to go, and you see the double dribble call against North Carolina A&T. Abrams open for 3. Can't get it to go. And the long rebound, A&T was going to try and push, but Aldridge got into her.
Lady Hornet foul number 15, Micah Aldridge. Her first personal, team's third.
That just Aldridge's first personal foul, however. So she is not in any danger. And you see Aldridge just trying to take advantage and get a steal. And there a poor pass by North Carolina A&T. Looked like number 3, Cinia McCray, with the poor pass. Bostic tried to go get it. But the Hornets, really, this has all started with the problems they're having on the offensive end. They've struggled on offense. North Carolina A&T's been able to get out in transition and get baskets and then set up their full court press. So the Hornets really need to do a better job on offense so that they can set up their defense and get this tide turned back in their direction. Leon Hill gets the foul call against her. As you get the replay here, Abrams thought better of taking another 3, and certainly the right call. Hill was not there in time, and Abrams draws the foul. But the Hornets now with 2 ladies in double figures. Najee Pollard is at 10, and Michael Aldridge is up to 11. So that's the good news of this third quarter, but A&T has shrunken this lead from 11. It's now up to 5. Abrams got both free throws to go. And the Hornets, their full court trap is effective there. Coach Robinson going to have to call a timeout. And you see this back from the first half. Najee Pollard with the lay-in. Pollard been effective all game long. There with the steal. Now here with the block on the other end. So you see, you get a feel just for everything that Najee Pollard does on both ends of the floor. She can get it done on offense and defense. Here she is getting the offensive glass and going back up with it. And so 46-41, Hornets staying in that full court press. And a great pick there by Kai Abrams. And Aldridge a little too aggressive though. Alicia Sharp gets the rebound. She goes up. Her shot's blocked. Janelle Addison gets it. She pulls it out and going to try and slow things back down. But Kai Abrams, a big-time steal, the 6-foot freshman there. But she plays like a guard, and her size can cause problems. And there was, with her length, able to get the steal. And Aldridge can't get the pull-up to go, but Najee Pollard on the offensive glass gets the lay-in to go. And now a lost pass and a steal down low by Addison. Addison off the glass. And the crowd getting into it as the Lady Hornets, their full court press causing problems for the Bulldogs. And just like that, the lead swells back to 9. Every time the Bulldogs have had a run to get back within single digits, the Hornets have answered. And they're maybe their most emphatic answer of the game as A&T had cut it to 3. And Delaware State having none of it. 2.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Their lead up to 9. And a reach-in foul going to be called against Michael Aldridge. And Aldridge getting a little aggressive here in this third quarter. But when you go the first half without any fouls, you can afford to do that. In the second half, as Aldridge, you're going to see here, just swiping across Kilpatrick's chest. But the Hornets, this has been the downfall of that full court press. They really got it going out of that timeout. But they've got themselves in foul trouble, and A&T is now in the bonus. And Kilpatrick off the mark with the first one. A&T now 10 of 14 from the free throw line. Delaware State 6 of 7. And Kilpatrick gets the second to go. And Sharp can't catch the inbounds pass, and Kilpatrick gets the floater to go. And the Hornets there, they get it into Michael Aldridge, and they've got to do a better job getting the inbounds pass to their ball handlers like Addison and Abrams and Aldridge. And Sharp, a little aggressive on the offensive end. She can't get it to go. And so 50-44. Three-pointer up, no good. Kilpatrick gets the rebound. She gets the lay-in. And Aaliyah Kilpatrick starting to make a name for herself in this game. She's up to 9 points. 5 of them have come in the past couple of minutes of action. Sharp with the cross-court pass to Addison. Addison drives, too strong with the layup. She tips it out to Sharp, but Sharp can't get a hold of it. And so 50-46, another opportunity for A&T to close the gap to a one-possession game. And so a game of runs we've had here in this third quarter. And A&T breaks the press easy. And Kayla Green, the beneficiary, she gets the easy lay-in. And so the lead cut to 2. And Delaware State, they went on a spurt to get it back up to 9. And now Pollard loses control of this one. A&T with a chance to tie the game. Kilpatrick on the run, no good. But an offensive rebound, nobody for the Hornets getting back. They fail to get back on defense, and it results in an easy layup for Leon Hill. And the game is tied. First time it has been tied since 32 seconds into the game when the Hornets got the first basket. It has not been tied since then, but now here we are, 50-50. Momentum on the Bulldogs' side, and the Hornets got to come up with something here late in the corner. Sharp, aggressive, trying to get the lay-in. She can't get it to go. And they have not gotten Najee Pollard as involved here in this third quarter as you would expect. Part of the reason is they've had too many turnovers. They haven't gotten across that half-court stripe as effectively as they were in the first half. But credit A&T, they've turned up the pressure. And now they're beating the full court press, and Sharp going to be called with the foul. And that's going to give A&T 2 easy free throws. And an opportunity to take their first lead of the game. And that's Sharp's 4th foul. Dana Brown at the free throw line. She'll hit the first. And so with 14.7 seconds to go here in the third quarter, the A&T Bulldogs have their first lead of the game. And Lanesia Ash, a poor pass there. She had Mike Aldridge open, but it wasn't a great pass. Aldridge couldn't control it, and it's stolen away. And now here a 3-ball up by Kilpatrick, no good. Ash got to get it up from half court. It's good if it goes, and it is nowhere close. Too strong. And so North Carolina A&T with a response of their own there in the third quarter. They dominated that third quarter, outscoring the Hornets by 13 points. And so A&T will head to the fourth quarter with a 52-50 lead.
Who really want it? Hey, 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 ho, ho. She worked for it. You gonna let her get you like that, though? Gonna let her get you? All my DSU fans right now, my students, my administration, my alumni, it is the fourth quarter. We're down 2 points. My student section, I need y'all to get behind the girls right now in this fourth quarter. Let's get the lead back up. When we score, cheer. Listen, let's stay behind them. All right? Everybody, shout out to the islands. Shout out to Ghana.
So much things I didn't
My administration, we gotta go. Hornet Pride, let's go. Hey, student section, y'all with me? Y'all with me? Put your fours up then. Put your fours up. It's the fourth quarter. Get your fours up. Rosie Storm, get your fours up. It's the fourth quarter. Get your fours up. Fourth quarter, game time, let's go.
And so we're back for the fourth quarter of action. Hornets will start with the ball. They're down 2. And the key stat to note in that third quarter, the Hornets had 10 turnovers in the third quarter alone, and it's the reason that their lead has evaporated. And they've got to go back to work here in the fourth quarter. Sankar gets an open look. Abrams gets it back on the offensive rebound. And Abrams, a solid shooter, so for that to be that wayward, I would have to think that Abrams had some contact or something. But A&T continuing now to break this Hornet press. And Pollard going to be called for her 4th foul. And I really don't think that this full court press has worked from Coach Burgess. I'd love to know what her thinking has been. As you see A&T, I mean, they run a press of their own, so they face it pretty frequently. They're pretty well equipped to beat it. And they really figured it out. The Hornets did go on that bit of a run there late in the third quarter to get the lead back up to 9, but outside of that, they have really not struggled too much with this full court press. And for Coach Burgess, her ladies were up 11 at halftime, and she went to that full court press, and the game has really turned up in intensity and tempo, and it has favored the Aggies. Here the Hornets break the press. Abrams can't get the layup to go. And that's their offensive execution has not been nearly as good in the second half of action. Here, though, an opportunity. And that one, Abrams a little timid in transition. And Michael Aldridge off the floor, Aaliyah Stinnett off the floor. Hornets got to look to Najee Pollard to create their offense. Ash trying to go get it. Pollard can't hang on to the rebound. And here comes a 2-on-1 for the Aggies. No good, but they get the offensive rebound. That one no good. Another offensive rebound. That one's no good. Another one. A&T has been all over the offensive glass. And they grab about 3 or 4 on that sequence of events alone. And now a 3-ball up and good from Dana Brown. And the lead now up to 6, and a little bit of nerves maybe beginning to creep in for the Lady Hornets. You've got to get it across half court. Lanasia Ash will. They're down 6 in what was once a 14-point lead. They're now down 6. And a great job there from Pollard to get to the basket. Dumps it off to Aylin Sankar, and Sankar gets the lay-in. And now the Hornets in that press of their own, trying desperately to create something, and it's just not working. But a missed layup there from number 23, Michelle Fitzgerald, and there's a break for the Hornets. Really one of the first breaks they've gotten here in this third quarter. Ash drives, kicks it to Negron. Negron too strong with the three-pointer. And a good save there, and A&T will get it. And now out in transition, the layup. Kayla Green gets behind Sankar. And A&T, for the effort that the Hornets were playing with in that first half, it has really began to diminish. And I'm not sure if they're tired, because they did come out hot. They came out playing extremely hard. And like I said, I'm not sure if it's a matter of them being tired, if or what the case may be. But they have really not looked as into it here in the second half. The full court press may have something to do with it. The fact that A&T has turned up the press and Delaware State's going to a press of their own. But it has not worked well for the Hornets. And they're down 6 with 7 minutes and 23 seconds to go. Coach Burgess took this timeout. She may have sensed her girl struggling. You see it there. I mean, 4 Lady Bulldogs out in transition to just 1 for the Hornets. You're never going to win that battle. And so the Hornets certainly got to do something different. Have to get back to the intensity that they were playing with in that first half. And I think they got to go to Najee Pollard. She's kind of lost her rhythm, lost her way here in this second half of action. And she's way too important. So they need to really get her going.
20 seconds. I get money. Hey. Do the Millie Rock. You know Millie Rock? Go like this, Joe. Go like this, Joe.
I hit the club and tell it,
You got rhythm. Let me see something. Come on, Joe.
Dinner Dougie, I'm just doing that for Harlem World. It's some Pitos, I'm probably with a foreign girl.
One time.
Some years ago and it
Go
was
like this, Joe. Just go like this.
Like me, Tory Lanez, this be lit again. That all the music make you get up off your feet. Right on out your seat. You step into this heat.
Here we go. Hornets.
Back at it here. Just over 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Hornets trying to figure out this A&T press. And they get it across half court, and Aldridge slows it down. And that's where their offense was really good in that first half, in the half court. And Pollard, a good up fake, goes at the basket. No call. She won't get the foul, but we get a jump ball. And it will go A&T's way. Pollard wants a foul call against LaSears, but she won't get it. And Coach Burgess now going to check Najee Pollard out. That's Taylor Sparks Faulkner, the first time we've seen her today. Just under 7 minutes to go now in the ball game. Faulkner going to be asked to provide a quick spark, and she's able to do it there. Deflects the pass down low, and Negron comes up with the steal. And so Faulkner doing exactly what they needed her to do. Come in, provide a spark. She creates the turnover there for the Hornets. And now Aaliyah Stinnett trying to come in and give them some instant offense. And she'll drive at the basket, gets it knocked away. So it's out of bounds on A&T. 11 seconds to go on the shot clock. We've seen them once with an inbounds play and not be aware of how much time was left on the clock, but they need to be here. Not enough time left in the game to give away possessions. Negron gets it into Ash. Ash back over to Ivana. 6 seconds to go on the shot clock. Aldridge got to go quick. Bounces it off the A&T player's foot, and there it is. Unaware of the time left. Forced to go late in the shot clock and end up turning it over. And A&T gets to the middle of that zone, and Michelle Fitzgerald able to knock it down. Aldridge goes at the basket, and a charge called against Michael Aldridge.
Offensive foul number 15, Michael Aldridge. Her third personal, team second.
And things really sliding away from the Hornets. Just with 2 points here in this fourth quarter. Ash with the steal, though. And an unlucky there for Lenasia Ash. She had the steal and was going to have the easy layup.
Her first personal, team's first.
I believe the foul was against Michelle Fitzgerald. But certainly a good foul from Fitzgerald. Stops the easy basket and going to force the Hornets to get it done in the half court now. Stinnett from the free throw line, shot in and out. And there just doesn't appear to be much offense on the floor right now for the Hornets without Najee Pollard, without Kaya Abrams. They're just struggling on the offensive end, and it's turning into some good looks on the other end for North Carolina A&T. And there Kayla Green gets fouled. And we're under 5 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. And things really starting to slide away from Delaware State as they're now down 9. Kaya Abrams will check in for Aaliyah Stinnett. And so Stinnett certainly still appears to be on a minutes restriction, still coming off the injury. And there, no foul called against Kayla Green. Aldridge certainly wanted one. And here Negron gets a steal. Negron out in transition, and she pulls, didn't have anybody with her. But I think you got to be aggressive there, try and get to the rim and draw a foul. And another carry called. Not often you see one carry called in the game, let alone two. But that's the second one called. This one goes against Lenasia Ash. And Alicia Sharp will check in for Taylor Sparks Faulkner. 4:19 to go. Hornets down by 9. And just offensively, they have really struggled. Been a little unlucky in this fourth quarter, but they certainly have not helped themselves too much on the offensive end. And there's part of the unluckiness. And there, that's going to be a foul on LaSears. And so they'll get away with it. But there you have, you have a block, you have a good defensive play, and the ball bounces right to Alexis LaSears. And they just haven't really had many breaks go their way in this second half. But you know what they say, you have to create your own luck. You have to create your own breaks at times, and they have not been able to do that. Have to give credit to Coach Robinson. I think that he really kind of hit the switch for his Lady Bulldogs. They really needed to turn up the intensity in that full court press, and they have, and it's given the Hornets problems. Aldridge had the open three, and how about that? Michael Aldridge had the three, thought better of it. Whitney Martin closed out to her. And then she pulls up with it anyway and cuts the lead to 6. And now Lenasia Ash gets a steal. And just like that, the Hornets back in business. 3.5 to go. Aldridge pulls up again. Short, off the mark. And a silly foul there on Kaya Abrams.
Lady Hornet foul number 4, Kaya Abrams. Her first personal, team's fourth.
And that's Abrams' fourth. And she's been very good in this game. So they really can't afford to lose her. And A&T breaks the full court press, the lay-in, and the foul. Quinsuela Story gets the lay-in. And the end one. And there, I don't know about that call. That seemed a little bit ticky-tack on Alicia Sharp, but that will be her 5th and final personal foul. She fouls out for the Lady Hornets. And so Najee Pollard will check in. 3:15 to go. here in this fourth quarter. And Delaware State needs a spurt. Look like they might be on their way to one after the Michael Aldridge three and then force the turnover. But Aldridge missed the three, and A&T comes back and gets a three-point play. Three minutes to go, 9-point game. Hornets got to make something happen, and Aldridge throws that right between the wickets. Pollard can't come up with it, and they've really let this one slip away after dominating that first half of action. They've lost composure, lost focus, and A&T doing what good teams do. They've come at them in this second half, turned it up another level, and the Hornets have not responded well to it. And quite frankly, I don't think Coach Burgess' adjustments have been very desirable in this game. I didn't like the full court press, playing into North Carolina A&T's hands. You made the game their style instead of the Delaware State style, and A&T's really turned it up. With the game going up tempo. And then we didn't see Najee Pollard for very much of the fourth quarter. There she's able to get the lay-in off the offensive rebound, and probably could have had a foul called as well, but she didn't get it. And I don't think the refs have really done the Hornets many favors.
Timeout, North Carolina A&T.
And Coach Robinson gets the timeout. Still a minute and 42 to go. So there is time left in this ball game. The Hornets have a chance, but you see Michael Aldridge, her hand on her heads. She has really been out for a lot of this game. We've talked a lot in this season about Aldridge battling through injuries. And her to play a lot of minutes in this game in what's been an up-tempo game. Really not an ideal scenario for the Lady Hornets, but without Lorna Caesar, and I think Caesar's been missed here in this second half. Caesar has ball handling abilities, is a true point guard, and I really think that they would be faring much better in this game if Caesar were here, but she's dealing with a lower back injury that she suffered on Monday night in the win over NC Central. And it's affected them. It's affected Michael Aldridge. She's played more minutes than we usually see. We've seen Lenasia Ash play more minutes than we typically see. But the Hornets down 7, a minute and 42 to go. See if they can make something happen.
Let's get it going. I need everybody in here. If you support Del State, get with me. Defense! Defense!
And the inbounds pass to LaSears. She can't get the shot to go. Abrams comes up with the loose ball, and now the Hornets with an opportunity to cut it now to 2 possessions. The lead is 7. Hornets have to go quickly. Aldridge trying to get a clear out. She's got the mismatch with LaSears on her. Steps back, pulls up the 3, and gets it to go. And excuse me, they call that a 2-pointer. So the lead still at 5. But the Hornets trying to make a run. Need a defensive stop here. And Pollard comes up with the block. How about Najee Pollard? Haven't seen her much in this fourth quarter, but now you don't need to go quickly. You've got a minute. There's time, but you need to come up with points. Aldridge going at the basket, and she draws a foul. Is that Michael Aldridge or Kobe Bryant stepping up late in the fourth quarter and taking it over? Gets the jump shot, now drives to the basket and draws a foul. And now Alexis LaSears gets her 5th personal foul. She will foul out. and she's really been the player of the game for North Carolina A&T in this game. Hornets have struggled to contain her on the glass, and her size has been a problem, but she's now fouled out of the game. And Aldridge can't get the first to go. That's big. 53 seconds to go, though. Aldridge hits the second. A 4-point game. Just under a minute remaining in the fourth quarter. And a foul going to be called. I believe that one's going to go on Kaya Abrams. And that's Abrams' 5th foul. Or excuse me, that's her second. So earlier, the scorer's PA announcer said first. I misheard. Thought it was her 4th foul. But it was just her first, so that just now her 2nd foul. And so the lead is 4. Brown at the free throw line gets the first to go. And you got to give A&T credit. They've been very good from the free throw line in this one. Brown sinks them both. Addison's got Negron. Negron pulls up from 3. Shot too strong. And now A&T in transition. They've got the numbers. And Aldridge called for the foul, and that was really all she could do. A&T out in transition. And you see here Aldridge just 2-on-1. She had nothing else she could do but foul Story, and now Story going to go to the line. And she hits the first. And another one likely will put a bow on this one for the Bulldogs in what's been a very impressive comeback. And so Story gets it to go. An 8-point game. And now a foul called on Kayla Green.
Aggie foul number 21, Kayla Green, her 2nd personal team's 4th.
So 34 seconds to go. The Hornets need to get hot from outside and need it to happen quickly. But a great job from A&T forcing the Hornets to inbound in the backcourt. Abrams pulls up from 3 and it's no good. A&T gets the rebound. It goes out of bounds, 20 seconds to go, an 8-point game. And Aaliyah Stinnett will check in for Janelle Addison. Stinnett can shoot from the outside, and that's certainly got to be her purpose for coming on the floor right now. But the Hornets just don't have time to be standing around. Aldridge steps back, pulls up, and she can't get it to go. And that's likely going to be a jump ball. Will go the Hornets' way, but under 10 seconds to go. So this one all but over, and going to be a disappointing loss for the Hornets. To have a 14-point lead, to come out early and hot the way that they did, score 26 points in the first quarter, and then to match with 34 the rest of the game. Just not the offensive performance the Hornets wanted. It happened the other day on Saturday against Florida A&M. They came out hot. They scored 22 points in the first quarter, and after that really struggled on the offensive end. And so the Hornets unable to make it 2 in a row. They fall here 68-60. North Carolina A&T moves to 5-4 in the MEAC and will go 2-0 against the Lady Hornets on the season. And now the Lady Hornets will head on the road now for 4 consecutive games starting on the 4th. They'll go to Florida to take on Bethune-Cookman, and then Florida A&M, and then they come further up north to Morgan State, and then Coppin State will round out their 4-game road swing. But the Hornets once again dropped to 2-7 in their MEAC season. A disappointing loss, but give credit to North Carolina A&T. They were the better team in the second half. And the Hornets really struggled to come up with an answer. So stay tuned. We'll be back for the second matchup of our double header. The men will take on the 2-6 men. Will take on the 0-8 North Carolina A&T Aggies in the MEAC. Stay tuned for that. I'm Chris Moore. We'll be back.